So since Focus 417 has started working with us, before that actually, we were averaging about $4,000 a week. That's about 16,000 a month on a good month, or
Mhm.
on a good week is 4K. And we are now at 41,000. Last 45 days, we did 41,750. That's roughly, if not more. And that's amazing. I mean, that's the comparison from our before and after. You know, we can actually call ourselves a salon now, versus what we were doing before.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm Cindy, and my salon is Bounty Beauty Salon. We are located in Arlington, Texas, near DFW, which is Dallas Fort Worth area. And our salon is pretty, basic. We've got about five to six stylists in the salon. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hmm.
Okay. So let's roll all the way back. Let's roll all the way back to the beginning.
Okay.
First, and I also got a chance to kind of analyze the initial call and like what you were saying in the
Okay.
beginning. And so I think this is going to be really interesting.
All right.
So before you found Focus 417, what was your day-to-day actually like when it came to trying to get new clients in the door for the salon?
Okay. My day-to-day tasks or daily things that I would do to make sure that we get clients, just the traditional stuff, passing out flyers, putting out banners, and then using some of the apps, those Style Seat, Booksy, that's pretty much it. That was my day to day. And then, word of mouth, also referrals. So that's pretty much was my day to day.
So when you so at some point in history, somewhere around April, you must have seen an ad from Focus 417.
Hmm.
Walk me through like what made you tell me what you saw, and then what were the initial thoughts going through your mind before you booked the call?
Okay. Okay, so that time around April, pretty much I do run everything. I take care of all the bookings, Instagram, social media, all that. And I was kind of tired because I've been spending some money on ads and stuff like that. And, I was just fed up. It just so happened that that morning I was kind of like fed up thinking about what am I going to do for then what's the next step for the salon? So I was on Facebook and the ad came up. And, I just saw it and then I listened to it a few times and I'm like, okay, this sounds like what I need. But I wasn't sure like exactly if it lines up with what I'm thinking. But everything on the ad did align with what I need as far as, increasing my presence, getting more clients, all of that. So so I wasn't really trusting the ad, but I said I I guess it was at the right moment because I was kind of okay, you know what? I'm done. Let me just try something new and go for it. So that's how I went ahead and just decided to fill out my information, and I just said okay, whatever. So then I did that, and then I got a message back, and then I scheduled my first call. I think that day, later on that day, with the company. So that's how I got in it. But even up until the call, I was still just trying to see what is it? Is it real? Is it something that I can actually take and use and benefit from it? So I was still going through that in my head, and I wanted to see, like, to be honest with you, the only I just wanted to see, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna use it or not, but I just kind of
Mm-hmm.
wanted to see what is this about. If it's and let me see. It's not hard. It's not hard to try something at least once. So that's what I was doing. So yep.
Got it. So then you got on the first call, and then we had a bit of a conversation. And we didn't have just one call; we had a couple calls. So,
Hmm.
like, walk me through that experience because, um, what I remember is we had a really solid first conversation. You were walking through the situation of the salon,
Hmm.
and you had highlighted a few things. Now, one thing that you had just mentioned that you did mention in our first call was that you were just kind of tired of doing everything. So, I know you were running ads on like multiple booking site platforms.
Hmm.
You were
Correct.
running your own ads on Facebook, Instagram, all over the place. Um, on top of being the entire marketing department, what else did you have on your plate at that time?
Um, the booking, the bookings, talking to the clients, with every ad response or lead, there's questions. So there's people that are asking questions. So I have to constantly respond. Also, like phone calls, like if they wanted to talk or ask questions on the phone, I would be the person to kind of respond to that. Um, and then all the way from the beginning, if there was to be a booking, then all the way through, like collecting their information, booking them, assigning the stylist, all the way through, even like sending them their address, our address, and how to get to the salon and all that. So I was doing everything. And then even beyond that, like after the service, I would also follow up with reviews or, payments and all that stuff. So I was pretty much doing everything from beginning to end. Yeah. Yeah. And it was a little bit dissatisfying. The reason why I was frustrated
My
is
goodness.
because, um, for everything that we do in business, we would like to see results, right? And if you're putting your all, you're doing everything, and you're not getting what you want and you're not satisfied. So it's like, it's very frustrating. And then I started thinking, like, am I doing the right thing? I don't know. So that's why I was frustrated. Yeah.
Got it. And so then walk me through like when we did have that conversation. I know it was a good conversation, but you were still a bit skeptical. Could you tell
Hmm.
me about that?
Yeah. I was skeptical because, I didn't know if it was true. I didn't know if, like I think I told you this last time we talked.
Mm.
Anybody can do anything. They can hire some people to talk for them. They can come up with something online for people to actually like, um, get hooked to. So I was still skeptical about it, and had so many questions, had to think about it. So when we had our initial call, you did explain everything in detail, and everything was pretty much clear. But I just had to kind of think about it and process it, and also I'm a numbers person, so I had to kind of like calculate, do a lot of numbers to see if this is really a good investment that would not only solve my issues that I had currently with the salon, but also be able not I don't have to like spend outside of my means, right? So then that's what I had to go back and forth, kind of kept doing that. So yeah.
So you said that you said that you were crunching the numbers and to see if it was going to be a good investment. When you did, I don't know if you how much you remember of those numbers that you were looking at, but when you were crunching the numbers, what to you, if this went well, what to you would have said that this was a good investment? What did a good investment look like to you at that time?
What did a good investment look like to me? Um, I wanted to. There was no specific number, but I just wanted to make sure that we maximize the current amount of stylists that we have, and then also like the appointments available. So then we can maximize that and be able to make our revenue, and then have like some money also left for such investment, like such as your company, like marketing or anything like that. I didn't want it to be where I'm paying maybe 50% of what I'm making on the extra appointments, just be able to afford this type of help, I would say. But yeah, so my
Mm.
main thing was just to maximize our current capacity would be the best word. Like the amount of how many stylists we have, how many appointments available do we have on a daily basis. So I kind of wanted to maximize that and then see if that's a good, we're doing well enough to be able to afford the marketing piece. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. So I know you had a mystery friend. If you remember, you had a mystery friend that you said that you run things by. And I remember this. You said you had a mystery friend that you run things by, and then when you came back and we spoke again, you said that you talked to them, but you said that they said not to go. They said not to move forward. Tell
Correct.
me, I need more details on how that conversation went.
Okay, so I did have a mystery friend that I was consulting with, and after our first meeting, I did explain everything just like, we spoke, and the benefits, what is it going to do for my business, all that. And they still did not, they still felt like it was not too good to be true, but what if this doesn't work? Then I lost the money that I invested in this. Um, and then they said, why don't you just do this yourself? Like, hire somebody,
Mm.
maybe overseas or something to be able to help you with this. Um, but yeah, so they pretty much said that you could do this with less money, you could do this with somebody else, and this is just such something that you is not even guaranteed. But if you seek for it yourself, at least you could be able to put it together and get someone that can maybe help you or get you to where you want to be. So the reason why I went ahead and went against the person was because I don't think the person knew my pain, and I don't think the person saw my
Mm.
vision. Um, Anybody can say whatever they want, but you have to be in that person's shoes to kind of feel the pain and the need, right? So at the end of the day, I still went back and thought about it. I'm like, if I let this go, I'm back to where I am. And yeah, I can try other avenues, but I'm not certain, I'm not certain with that. So why not try to work with someone that have already done this with multiple salons, even though I don't have any evidence, but I'm going to take your word for it. I'm not going to, I'm not going to second guess. Let me just go ahead and take your word for it and try this. I've never tried anything else other than what I know, so why not? So that's why I went against the advice that I got from my mystery friend. Yeah, so my main reason is I don't think they knew or understood my pain. So that's why I went along with it. And after I did that, I did tell them, and they were kind of disappointed. I felt like they were like, really, you asked me and you didn't even go. But I just had to do what I had to do. Yeah, and make the decision. Correct.
So now that's a really important point, though. I mean, and I don't want to go too fast over it. They didn't. You said specifically they didn't know my pain. What was so that pain that you're talking about? Make that very plain, very clear. What they did not understand that you dealt with on a regular basis. What was that pain?
Okay, so the pain I'm talking about is being on that, doing the marketing. So I'm doing the marketing and I'm not getting any results out of it, right? I'm the one talking to the clients. I talk to so many people during the day, and maybe I'll get like two or three, maybe five on a good day to kind of book. And then I'm relying on so many. To me, it seemed like I was just doing things on the fly and hoping it would work, right? I didn't have data or
Mm.
anything to prove what I'm doing or to support what I'm doing. And I'm just hoping that, okay, somebody's going to go on StyleSeat today and book, or somebody's going to text me back or see my ad and send me a message and go all the way through. So I really didn't have any. So I kind of got tired because it's the same thing every day. And sometimes you kind of lose motivation on it. And then, you know, when you're running a salon, you know how much you're spending, who you're bringing in, all the painful stuff that you're doing to make sure that it operates. And you need the return on investment, right? In order to see your fruits of labor. And if it's not happening like the way you envision it, then it's going to be a lot of pain or heartache to me personally. I'm sure other salon owners feel the same way. But yeah, that's the pain I'm talking about. That's the every day waking up in the morning, picking up my phone, checking what we got versus what we can, support today, and knowing that we didn't make it because we were missing so many appointments, and then hoping maybe, and also the daily piece of it matters. Like, okay, Monday, we're planning for the week, but then if I'm planning for the next week and then today's Wednesday and I'm still not looking good, then so what made me go for it
What
and
got you
not
across? Mm-hmm.
listen to the imaginary friend or any other person? Um, you know, for one, okay, one, the conversation was really good. The professionalism, you spoke the language that I speak when it comes to like salon owners. Um, it didn't seem like fake or anything to me. It seemed real, and you talked about you hit the points with everything that that I deal with. So that was a one, and then another part was that I just wanted to go for it. I just didn't. I was done. I was like, let me try something else new. So maybe if I was not to that point before, maybe I could have backed out. But I was ready for something new, and I was just ready to take the chance for that. And then what else? Oh, another one. So okay, this one that I did not think of. So I have an older brother,
Mm-hmm.
and he's in business. He lives in Australia actually, but he made a comment to me a couple of months ago. He was like, Cindy, um, invest in marketing, invest in social media. Don't be so afraid to do that. And he has his reasons. I can tell the story, but I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. So he made that comment to me, and he's like, don't hesitate. You need to you need to trust that, and you need to be able to invest in something. Don't do it all alone. So that was the last time we spoke before I saw this ad, and and maybe that kind of altered my thinking a little bit. So I remembered what he said, and I was like, okay, let me just do this and let me try it. I mean, if it fails, then I'll just take a loss, but
Mm,
I'm gonna try it. And he did tell me that months before I saw the ad. So yeah.
got it. Now, okay. So then we went. You said you decided to move forward. We went forward, and we are here now, 45 days later. Tell me, um, I guess so. I sent you. I know we've got the numbers. We got exactly what happened.
Mhm.
So at the beginning of this, you had some goals in mind. You had some ideas of what you wanted to achieve. This was you don't have the experience of trying a bunch of different agencies or
Mhm.
companies prior to, but you were in a significant enough amount of pain to say, look, I need help. I need someone else to be doing these things for
Mhm.
me because this is rough. And so we started. We went forward. We launched the campaign. Tell me, I guess a quick, or I can give the numbers if you want, and then we can talk about it. Or if you want to just kind of walk
Yeah.
through what the
Can
experience has been like. Like, tell me through the 45 and
Okay.
today. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So my experience in the 45 days, first of all, they were not playing. The team was not playing. So, and I said that last time, like, if you guys didn't push me, I would have probably procrastinated on some of the work that I needed to give back to you guys. But it was pretty quick. I think after the first time we spoke, the first thing I noticed, and I was kind of skeptical about that too, you were like decision day. And it was like literally 2 days after we spoke. And I was like, okay, I guess he wants me to make a decision right away. But then, and on a normal basis, I would probably want to think about it for like a week or something, or sit on it, let it marinate. But you were like, you pushed me towards that, which I appreciate now, because if I would have marinated on it, maybe I would have kind of like convinced myself not to do it. I don't know. Or maybe talk to more people that would tell me not to do it. But yeah, so like I think we spoke on a Friday, and that Sunday or Monday was like decision day. So did the decision day, and I decided to start. And then you gave me 5 days to pretty much before go live. And that's everything, launching the website, creating the ads, everything, everything that we needed to kind of get everything done, the campaigns, and then also like the meta, Facebook meta ads, all that stuff. So 5 days was pretty fast, and it was, I have a million other things that I do, including the different hats that I wear. So it was pretty tight, but I had to make time because you guys were pushing me, and I was like, okay, I got to do this. So then that was the first week. And then even when you text me and you were like, we're going to go live, I was like, what? Wait, no. It was like, I still felt like I needed to do more. Like we needed to do some few things to kind of polish it before we go live. But what we had was good enough. So that, and, I got to see that later. It didn't really matter. Yes, it was good work, but it didn't have to be perfect. As long as we got out there and we started immediately, we did get results right away. Yeah. So that was my first few weeks. So we went live, and I'm gonna tell you the truth. Like the first week we went live, it was actually Mother's Day weekend, and we did very well. You guys helped us it was crazy. It was super crazy. I mean, we turned down even some appointments, right? And after that amazing week, I was still skeptical. I was like, you know what? Maybe so many people clicked on the ads because
I remember this.
yeah, maybe they clicked on the ads because it was Mother's Day weekend. They needed their hair done so bad. And like they saw the ad and they're like, you know what? I'm just going to click on this and go to these people. So that's where I was that week. And, we spoke right after that week. I think that Monday or maybe that Tuesday. And it was a big week. We did awesome. It was one of our best week ever. I'm talking about ever, not even that year or anything, ever. And then I was like, okay, let me just see what's going to happen. And I did tell you that, and you were like, no, it's not just because of Mother's Day. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna find out. And the week after that, it was the same. It was even better. The week after that, we duplicated every week, just like the Mother's Day weekend. And there was no special. There was some, we had, was it Labor Day? A few weeks after it was also Labor Day, or was it Memorial Day? One of them. So we did really good that weekend too. But then I couldn't say that it was because of a holiday or, something special that was happening that weekend, because we did prove it out where we had multiple weeks that performed just as good, if not better. So that's when I knew, like, okay, yes, I made the right decision. Yeah.
Got it. No, because I remember that conversation. I think I might have literally just called you after. Oh no, I sent you a message. Did we end up
Mhm.
speaking on, or was that just through the messages?
No. We spoke. We had a full-blown meeting. We had a full-blown talk right
We had a
after. We
full
had a full-blown
meeting.
meeting. Um, Somebody, I
Yes.
think
Oh
Miss V
yes,
was
yes.
there.
Because I.
Yeah, we
Yep.
did. Yeah, Miss V was there, and I was saying that to you, and you were like, "No, I don't think it's just because of the Mother's Day weekend or whatever. It's you were trying to tell me, but I was just like, okay, whatever. We'll see next week or a week after. In my mind, I was like, I'm gonna see, and I was kind of preparing myself. I was like, I'm gonna get him. Let him. If this doesn't happen again, I'm gonna be serious. Like, no, but you did. You knew what you was talking about. Like, I totally owe you an apology, mental
Oh
wise,
yeah.
because I didn't express it, but in my mind, I was like, yeah, yep.
No, so one thing I remember when we were talking about that, because when you said it, I'm gonna be honest with you, I took it personally. I'm like, wow.
Oh,
So
you did?
I'm like, we just did all of this. We launched this campaign, and she said she thinks that this national holiday was the reason why all of this stuff just so happened to work. I said she's gonna see something very soon.
Hmm. True.
I let everyone know. I said, look, pay attention to Bounty Beauty because she thinks that the holiday is what did it, guys. I said this. This is what I was talking about with my team.
But you can't blame me on it because, like, we started. It would just so happen that it was like a week before Mother's Day. We started. I think we launched
Mm-hmm.
that Monday of that week, and then Mother's Day was Sunday. But then the booking started like duplicating like really fast. Not even duplicating. It was like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We just went like so big, like, and then I was like, okay, maybe, yeah. So I was like,
Yep.
okay, logically, even though we can say it's not logic, but from my standpoint, logically, I thought it was because of that. Never worked with you before, had no idea if this was going to work or not. And it worked on the first week. And that was the only something that stood out that made me believe so. So, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No, and I get it. I completely get it. But that was just fuel. I'm like, oh, that's perfect. This is just gonna make a better story.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
So numbers wise, I guess tell me like in okay, so let's talk about what happened over the 45 days. So you said it
Mhm.
was consistent week after week. We made every day Mother's Day. We made the we made it Mother's Day every week.
Yeah.
So the numbers, did you want to go, do you want to say the numbers or do you want me to say the numbers?
Yeah, go ahead and say the numbers. That's fine. You can go ahead and say the
Okay,
numbers.
so we had so over this 45 days our original goal, I don't know if you remember, we were saying, let's get a target a minimum 50 appointments. Okay, just be
Hmm.
conservative, we'll say a minimum 50 appointments, which would get you essentially enough to say, okay, cool, I didn't lose on this. It wasn't amazing, but I didn't lose on it. 50 appointments
Okay.
would be justifiable. that's what we
Hmm.
that's what we agreed on, right?
True.
Cool. So then we went, campaign went live. Obviously we had the Mother's Day, and then
Mhm.
we just kept rolling from there. In total, over that 45 days, $2,292.42 was spent on ads. We booked a 167 appointments. So our goal was 50. We had 167. Deposit revenue. Now, this is something that people don't really think about or people don't
Mhm.
really kind of mention, but what I think is really cool, and this is what we kind of talked about in our initial meeting, is when you're running ads, right? You have a daily spend. Like on Facebook, Instagram, it's called a daily spend. Now, it doesn't necessarily charge you daily, other than in the beginning, but that daily spend could be, whatever you set the amount to be at that
Mhm.
particular point. When you have a deposit system to where when someone books, they have to pay some sort of a deposit, what that does is it offsets some of the ad spend. So if you're spending $40 a day on ads, but then you also have, let's say, a $40 deposit or a $30
Mhm.
deposit or a $50
Sure.
deposit,
Mhm.
if you spend for that day on ads, but then you bring in 3 appointments on that day, then
Mhm.
you're essentially recycling the ad spend so that and profiting on it so that you can spend for the next day too. So it's
Sure.
like every customer is literally paying you your ad spend to go get another customer. And that's just the
Absolutely.
deposit revenue. That's not even the
Mhm.
actual appointment.
Yes.
With that being said, $2,292.42 on ads, 5,500 in deposit revenue. So
Mhm.
That's during that same time period. So you're profiting on just deposit revenue before anybody even comes in the door. And then there's an estimated. Now you said that your average price point is what, $250?
Yes, per customer. Yes.
$250 per customer. So we multiply that with 167 confirmed appointments. That's $41,750. So on 2,292 and 42 cents, 41,750 in return. That's pretty much, that's, if you do the math on that, that's a 18.21 times return on ad spend. You said in the beginning, you're like, hey, if we can just, I don't want to spend 50% of, I don't want to spend 50% of what we get on to get the thing done. I don't want to spend 50% of what we actually make to even
Yeah.
have it running. You got 18 times,
Yeah.
18.21 times on what was there. So okay, how in practical terms, that means that every dollar that was spent on ads, there was an estimated $18 that came back. You said
Mm,
focus 417. Here's $1. I need you to make it at least 3. We gave you 18.
sure. Absolutely. You did that.
Thoughts?
And that, even your calculation with the 250 per appointment, which is 41,750, that's actually because I do my books. I run my books almost every week, and that's about right. It might
Mm-hmm.
be even a little bit more, but yeah, we did that. Yes, and that just changed the game for me. I was not expecting that. I had a number in my mind, even with the 50. I wanted to just create some consistency.
Mm-hmm.
My actually, you know what? My goal was to create some consistency. And I think I told you this, right? In the beginning was just to create some consistency every week of at the time, what our best week would look like. Let's just keep doing that every week. But not only that we got some consistency now, we actually beat the best week we had. So it's like we got, multiple things in return by just doing this. Yeah, amazing.
Wow.
And just
Wow.
to add to it too, like two things that I didn't talk about. First of all, I had to pretty much
Mm.
improve my style, like get more stylists, I would say, um, to kind of support the work that we were getting. So I had to reach out to people I knew before or other stylists that are no longer working with us, but they were still could flex back and start working with us. So I had to get another set of people to kind of join the team to be able to handle the amount of appointments that was coming at us. We weren't able to handle it with the amount of people we had. That was one thing. The second one was the my regular people that worked in the salon. They were kind of shocked. They were like, "What happened? Like you must have did something." So I didn't tell them what I was doing, but they noticed it immediately. I can tell. Like they were like, "Oh my God, this is what we've been looking for." And then to the point that they were like tired of that. So, but I told them, we're not gonna get tired. We're just gonna continue doing this, and this is what we wanted from the beginning. So now that we got it, we just have to get stronger and improve our capacity, and more. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I believe that you were potentially talking about maybe opening a new location. What was the vision? The long-term vision.
Okay. Yeah. So the short term vision for Bounty Beauty, because the location that we're in, we have some areas where we rent out for suites, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
did that to be able to afford other bills that I was handling, not the salon side where we do most of the work. I was renting it out to independent contractors where they can pretty much utilize the space to do their own services. So initially when I got the location, my vision was to utilize everything, like the whole space, right? But because of the slow start and also like not being able to sustain the revenue, I ended up coming up with some ideas, remodeling some areas, did a little bit of construction and created suites so then I'll be able to rent it out to other contractors. So that was the short term goal. But now we are going to be expanding the salon all the way through the whole entire square footage that we have this space for. So just so happened that some of the contractors actually their lease is ending. So I'm just going to discontinue that and continue and just expand the salon, add some more space, make it more roomy, create a better environment, and then even so hire more stylists so then we can be able to afford more work. And that's what I was talking about, improving the capacity, right? So that's in a way that's part of, we've got floor space as an example of capacity. You've got the initial workers that are working in the salon. They need to be able to handle the capacity, either the current workforce that we have or even adding more to be able to handle everything that's coming at us. And just another thing that I needed to mention is that even with the revenue that we got back, that's with like turning some people down a lot every week because we
Wow.
only accepted what we could handle. And there were some days where people were calling or they were trying to book, and we were fully booked. And the girls can attest to that. Miss V and the other girls, they can attest to that. I would text them on a Friday night and be like, we can no longer take any more appointments. We're like fully booked on Saturday. We're fully booked on Friday. Please, I would actually give them like maybe 1 or 2 slots that was left that week for them to be able to fill it in, and that was it. We couldn't take any more people. So
Wow.
improving the capacity and expanding the salon would definitely help us not to turn anyone away. So it's like I don't want to lose any penny. Like I want to take what you guys give me and squeeze it. I want to squeeze as much as I can and also be profitable myself to the best of my capacity that I have today. So that's the goal for Bounty Beauty. And of course, a long term, the long term goal is to open up more locations in DFW, expand and just get the name out there and do the same thing. I mean, we only been in business for a year and a half, and I think we're doing pretty good. We started okay, which for a new salon we were doing them well, but then we needed to take it to the next level, and you guys helped us do that. And so to me, it should be a plug and play on the next location. It's not it's not
Yep.
anything new. We already have our strategy. I understand exactly what work we need. I understand our environment and everything. And then my next step is to just get another location and then just plug and play. Yeah. So that's what's coming
Man.
soon. Yeah.
So what I want to do is I'm going to ask one question, and then I want to do some more rapid fire, and then we can get out of here. So first thing, if you were sitting in front of a salon owner who's got, 3 or more stylists, they are around that, 15, 20,000 a month mark, but they're doing all the marketing themselves. If anybody's coming up with an idea, it's them. If anyone's running
Hmm.
ads, it's them. If someone's creating it, it's them. They are at the point where they are pretty much almost burnt out. They know that as a salon, they know that they didn't open up their salon to also be the head of marketing, to be doing everything on their own. But they know about these agencies. They might have heard about
Hmm.
other people doing other things, but they're just like, I don't know if I really want to let somebody else handle this for me, or I don't really
Hmm.
know if,
Hmm.
there's a lot of scammers online these days.
Yeah.
And so if you were sitting in front of that person and the conversation was about Focus 417, whether they should say, go for it, or whether they should just sit on it, listen to their cousin or a mystery person who told them not to go for it. Um, what would you say to that person if you were sitting directly in front of them and they were asking you, should I go with Focus 417 or not?
Okay, it's backing a little bit. Okay, what I would say to any up and coming salon that's kind of similar to my salon is trust Focus 417. I would tell them that. And I know it's hard to trust, but I'm a vouch for that, right? And the reason why I say that is because I was that salon owner that thought I was doing the best I can, thought I knew it all because I have a very good background. And even if if you're a previous salon owner, or maybe you've ran other businesses, don't ever think that you know it all. There's always room for improvement, and why not get somebody else that's just focused in um, that topic, or maybe that section of marketing, and have them do that for you, because you don't know everything. You just don't know everything. Um, for me personally, I've I told you this on the beginning. I've got a business degree. I've got an MBA, Master's in Business Administration. I have an IT background. I know a lot about um, apps and gadgets and different softwares, and I try to run my salon in a more modern way versus the old school ways of doing things. And still, I was not like the best, right? I still struggled. So I would say that whoever, even if they're not like me, have somebody else do the work for you, so then they can get the best out of, and the best out of what you're trying to do. They know it all, they know everything, and they understand it more because they've done it several times. You're not the first. So they kind of have they know the playbook. Let me just say that they've got the playbook, and they know it from beginning to end. You testing out the waters on other things and not knowing the outcome of it, it's just a waste of time. So, and it's a waste of revenue that you would have got. And I wish and hope, like I wish I would have got this a long time ago. Because looking at the numbers, like you said, 41,000 in 45 days. What if I would have done this like 6 months ago? You know, I moved to
Mm.
my new location in October of 2025. And what if I would have started then? We would have been so far ahead by now. And it's just wasted time, money, energy, everything. You name it. It's just a lot of waste. So this definitely helped me out and helped open my eyes to a lot of things. So yeah, that's what I would tell them. Yeah.